self-esteem begins in the mind. I believe that self-esteem begins in the mind. Now, every child is born with a promise. Every child is born with potential. It's invisible. It's secret. It's inside you, and it's in every single person in this room. And this potential says, what I can be is up to me. What my life becomes is up to me. But the sad thing is, many of us never find our potential. Many of us never truly live our potential. Now imagine you were born with a canvas, a blank canvas. And you came equipped with the paintbrushes, and you came equipped with the paint. And it was totally up to you what you wanted to do with your life. You could paint the painting of your life. You could use this potential that you came with, and you can paint any image on that canvas. It was totally up to you. So you can create a masterpiece, and you can call it the painting of your life. So you can use any color, you can use any brush stroke, and you can paint the painting of your life. But you were born with a promise. You were born with potential. And you were born with this unlimited imagination. And what starts to happen is people come and they also start to paint on your canvas. These people are well-meaning. They mean well. Some people are great and they support you, but other people keep you small, they condition you. Some people are positive and lift you up, but other people tease you and they pull you down. But all of these interactions, other people are painting on your canvas. Other people are painting on your masterpiece. And this continues for a number of years. And then suddenly you start to realize the painting doesn't quite look the same anymore. The painting's different to what I imagined. The painting isn't quite what I had in my mind. But this also continues for a number of years. And then eventually you start to accept that this painting is the one that should be your life. You start to accept other people's ideas. You start to accept other people's conditioning. And you start to accept what people have said about you as your reality. And soon the painting that you have is nothing like the one you came with. It's nothing like the one you imagined. But we learn to accept it. Now, I'm here today to tell you that from today onwards, you can change this painting. You can change your life. You can step forward. You can create yourself a new reality. So Sally, how do we do this? How do we step forward? How do we create a new reality? The answer is very simple. Everything begins in your mind. Everything begins in your space of your mind. We call it your mind space. So that canvas that you come with, from this moment on, from that canvas that you come with, you can change it, because that canvas you come with is your mind space. So imagine you arrive and it is a blank canvas, and now people have painted over it, but from this moment on, I'm going to teach you today how to change this canvas. And those thoughts, those brush strokes, the colours that you have chosen are the paints, the thoughts you are putting on the canvas. And these thoughts will either lift you up or they will keep you low. These thoughts will give you positive feelings about life, or they will give you negative feelings about life. These thoughts can, give you values. These thoughts can create your belief. And these thoughts ultimately are your self-esteem. So everything that you think in the mind about what has happened in your life up until now is what is creating your self-esteem. And it is your self-esteem that will make you or break you in life. Now, the Mona Lisa is the most famous painting in the world. It hangs in the Louvre Museum in Paris. And it was painted by Leonardo da Vinci. It's the most beautiful painting. If you haven't seen it, you should go and see it. Every single year, 6 million people come and see this painting. 6 million people. And they all stand in front of it and they all admire the painting and they all say how beautiful it is. But the amazing thing about this canvas is it's protected. There's a lot of security, but you never see the security. you don't see any security around it. So 6 million people can stand in front of it and they can watch this painting. But then if somebody moves forward, or if somebody puts their hand up and looks like they're going to do something wrong, then suddenly the guards come racing and they protect the canvas. And from today forward, this is what we're going to do. Our canvas is our mind space, and from today forward, we are going to protect our mind space. And we will only allow people in who are positive, who uplift us, who encourage us, who give us confidence. And we will keep out the people who pull us down, who are negative, who tell us we can't do things. Because we have to guard our mind space. Now, this doesn't mean to say you have to lose all of these people from your life. They can still be in your life. People are positive and some people are negative. But it means you don't allow the negativity into your canvas, into your mind space. Because just like the Mona Lisa, when somebody's going forward to do something negative, the guards come rushing forward. And this is what we're going to do with our canvas, with our mind space from today forward. Now, let me share a story of a little girl where people tried to influence her canvas. Her name is Mary. She lived in a beautiful small village. She was the middle child of a very large family, so she had a lot of sisters. And she was very happy. What she loved to do, she used to love and play in the fields. She used to go running up into the woods, and she would play with the cows. She would play with the sheep, and this was her life. She was very, very happy. She was very positive, and she had a very positive mind. Now, when Mary was only 7, she decided she was going to go and join something called the Girl Guides, the Girl Scouts. And 20 girls all came together and they created one group of girls. And Mary was so excited because she'd never done anything like this before in her life. And on the first day, the leader said, every single week when you come, we will reward people for achieving one task, for achieving excellence. And what we're going to do is we're going to give you a string, and you put the string around your neck, and when you achieve excellence, we will give you one bead. So Mary was so excited because she hadn't ever owned a necklace, and she was already imagining the beads that she was going to get around this necklace. So soon they said, okay, put the string around your neck. So 20 little girls, they're only 7, they all put the string around their neck, and they were all so excited. And then a few moments later, the leader said, today's task, I'm going to award positive beads, and I'm going to give excellence for those of you with polished and shiny shoes. Polished and shiny shoes? 4 words put Mary's mind into a spin. She felt her heart sink because she looked down and she realized she had the shoes on that were handed down from her elder sister. Her elder sister wore them in the fields and in the woods. And then she handed down to the next sister. And then the next sister wore them in the fields and in the woods. And then she handed them down to Mary. And Mary was standing there in her shoes. They were the only shoes she owned. And they were not polished and they were not shiny. So the leader started going around every girl. Oh, congratulations, here is your bead, you have nice shoes. And all Mary could hear was all these girls happy and excited because they were putting the bead on their neck. And they were so excited because they got a necklace and they got their first bead. Slowly, 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 the leader came. And suddenly she was standing in front of Mary. And her tone changed. How can anybody wear such ugly, dirty, old shoes? And then the leader walked away. Now Mary was 7. And for the first time in her life, she felt embarrassed, she felt humiliated, and she put her head down with shame. But she also knew she was being judged for something that was beyond her ability. She looked down and she knew she had old shoes on, but they were the only shoes she had. She wanted to be like the other girls, but they were the only shoes that she had. And the moment she put her head down and she felt all this shame and embarrassment, 1,000 negative thoughts started going through her head. you're not good enough, the other girls are better than you, the other girls have got more money than you will never do well at life. All of this negativity was going through her mind. And it was one of those moments that she will remember for the rest of her life. But it was beyond her control. She was only 7. And she was the only girl that day who did not get a bead. And she had to walk around for the rest of the day wearing only a piece of string. And even then, all the other girls were starting to think Mary's different from them because Mary did not fit in. Now she was only 7, and as I mentioned earlier, every child, this was the bead, every child wants to fit in. Every child has a promise. This was the bead that the girls were given, and Mary did not get the bead. She was negative, she was embarrassed, she was, frustrated with life. But as I mentioned earlier, she was only 7, and every child comes with a promise, comes with potential. And it is not until somebody or someone tells us we're different that you start to feel different. Up until that moment, Mary thought she was just like all the other girls. She was excited, she was happy, she was very positive with life. And then suddenly, she did not get the bead. So it was a negative experience that Mary would not like to have experienced, but she had to deal with it. Now let's turn this story to you, the audience. Just imagine for one moment you are now looking at your canvas. You are looking at your painting of life. And there will be some people who have painted things on there that are pretty negative. There are some people that will have painted things on there that are positive. But you have to look at your canvas as it is at the moment and decide, am I happy with it? Am I happy with my life at the moment? Or am I a little bit frustrated? If you're happy, that's fantastic, continue. But if you're frustrated, it's time to make a difference. It's time to make some choices. So, what do we do? How do we move forward? We have 2 choices. We can accept the negativity that people have been saying to us, or number 2, we can start to take action. We can take action knowing that we can start to make a difference in our life. We can start to change that painting. And Mary, even though it was a negative situation, she decided to turn a negative into a positive. She decided to learn from this experience and to move forward with herself and find out how to be more successful, find out how to be more resilient, find out how to be more positive in life, no matter what everybody else was doing or was saying to her. So this is what Mary did. And how do I know? Because at the age of 7, I was that little girl. I was Mary with that little string around my neck. There is a beautiful Indian saying, the bite of the snake does not kill you. The poison left behind once the snake has gone is what kills you. Now let me repeat this again. The bite of the snake does not kill you. It is the poison left behind once the snake is gone that is going to kill you. So what do we mean by this? The bite of the snake is an event that happened. So Mary did not get the bead. Mary was frustrated. Mary was embarrassed. That was the bite of the snake. You all will have had incidents in your life where something has happened. Something many years ago has happened. This was the bite of the snake. So what is the poison? The poison is the fact we keep thinking about it long after it has gone. So even though the leader had left Mary, months, weeks, years after, Mary still felt embarrassed about that incident. So Mary still kept thinking and thinking and thinking about that incident. And this is the poison. So something might have happened in your life many years ago, and you're still thinking about it today. So what is the poison? The poison is something we're doing to ourselves. We are poisoning ourselves. The snake and the bite have gone, but the poison is what is still left behind. So we can change. But just like a canvas, what is already on that canvas is on the canvas. And you can try and scratch it off, but it won't look very nice and it's going to look a bit messy. So from today forward, I have a solution, and it's a very simple solution. you start to paint over your canvas. What do I mean by this? From this moment forward, you decide, okay, I don't like that part of my canvas, but I'm not going to think about that part of my canvas anymore. Instead, I'm going to choose my thoughts. I'm going to choose the colours. I'm going to paint over with new thoughts, with new ideas, and with new experiences. So from this moment forward, you actually can paint over your canvas. I'm going to introduce you to a technique, and it's called stop. This is how you're going to paint over your canvas. It's very effective, it's simple, and it works for everybody. So what does the stop technique do? It just means that when you're having a negative thought, you stop your mind, you introduce a pause, and you then bring in a positive thought. And you think about something positive instead of the negative. Now, there's a lot of research. We have 50,000 thoughts every day. In one day, you have 50,000 thoughts. And actually, a lot of those thoughts are the same thoughts you had yesterday, and the day before, and the day before. And a lot of these thoughts are negative thoughts. The research has proven it. And if we have low self-esteem, then we have more negative thoughts than everybody else. And we think about the past more than anybody else. So from this moment on, we're going to introduce this technique called stop. So when you wake up in the morning, what is the first thing that most of us do? We check our mobile phones. But from today onwards, we are not going to check our mobile phones. We are going to check our mind space. So if you wake up in the morning and your day starts with a negative thought, oh, I'm tired, I didn't have enough sleep, I drank too much beer last night, I've got an exam today, I'm not going to do very well. All of these are negative thoughts. We're going to say stop, and we're going to introduce a positive thought instead. Now, what is a positive thought? A positive thought can be the face of your loved one. It can be your favourite pet. It can be a favourite movie character. It can be a picture of you doing a YouTube video. It can be anything. A positive thought is something that you like the look of and that makes you smile. So all you do when you're sitting on the bed in the morning and you've just woken up, you say stop, you bring in a positive thought, you think about the positive thought for about 20, 30, 40 seconds, and then you carry on with your day. Because what you're doing now is you're painting positivity on your canvas. And this mind space, this canvas, is so much more beautiful when it's full of positivity than when it's full of negativity. The next thing you do in the morning is you brush your teeth. And we brush our teeth because we don't like the toxins in our mouth. So as you're brushing your teeth, start to brush your mind. Keep telling yourself stop. If you look in the mirror and you say, oh, I've got a pimple on my nose, no one's going to love me, I've got one of these pimples, stop. Introduce a positive thought and carry on with your day. And it's something you can do to each other. If somebody in your family or friends is being negative, you just say stop, introduce a positive thought, and move on with your day. Now, you are the person who's holding the brush. You are the creator of your own life. You have this canvas. And it's time now that you pick up the paintbrush and you choose the colours and you decide to create your own masterpiece. The stop technique is one, and you keep repeating this during the day. Your thoughts are so important. If you have happy thoughts, you will have a happy life. It's that simple. If you have happy thoughts, you have happy emotions. If you have happy emotions, you take happy actions. And then you start to live a happy life. So ladies and gentlemen, I don't care what your past has been like. I don't care what has happened to you in your life up until this moment. What I do care about is how you move forward from this moment. You don't need a piece of string and a bead to give you self-esteem. Because you are the child born with a promise. You are the child born with potential. The potential is still inside each and every one of you. And it is time to shine and bring out your potential. Choose your paints and create your own masterpiece. Thank you.